So, here we be. In Virginia, you can hear cars going by because we are in a shed. Sheds are cool. So, would you please introduce yourself?
So, I am Daniel. I am your uncle.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean,
You're an army sergeant? A sergeant
Yes.
in the army?
yep, I am a leader of soldiers, a professional.
Very nice, very nice.
They point, I go. I point, they go.
Cool, cool. Very nice. So, would you like to count down the podcast? Or do you want me to count it down? Or,
What do you normally do?
or count up. I always forget. It's count up the podcast.
So it's 1, 2, 3, and then
Right,
go? Or
right.
is it 1, 2, and then 3?
1, 2, 3, pop. That's how that works.
We can do that.
So, okay. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wrong kind of pop?
Wrong pop.
Oops. Let's try that again. Oh, I broke the board.
How much did that cost?
I don't know.
Is it your board?
What?
Is it your board?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I found it in a dumpster.
Oh,
It's
nice.
adopted. Oh, too fast. Oh, well. Here's to a safe trip to Virginia. Why is it spicy?
All right. So we've got a heckin' bunch of questions here. So
Oh,
I'm gonna
boy.
pick and choose. Oh, right. Did anything interesting happen to you this week? I think we always gotta do that.
Well, I got to use my inflatable kayak for the first time. That was fun.
That was fun.
Yeah. Actually caught some fish. Handled surprisingly well. What's nice about the inflatable kayaks is you sit deeper in the water, so you're not as top heavy. They're a lot more stable.
Dog. Very nice, very nice. Right. For me, I traveled to Virginia. So, went through West Virginia, went to a place called New River Gorge, and it was very nice hiking.
Very beautiful over there.
Mm-hmm.
Been there.
And then we came here and we went in the inflatable kayak. That's pretty much the extent of what what we've done on our trip so far. Is hiked and kayaked. But yes.
Hey,
So,
gotta be with nature.
for sure, I needed it. Oh, right, I went and visited Appalachian Bible College, and I'm considering going there. So,
How come?
because, well, it was just kind of a weird deal. So we were driving here, and Mom and Dad saw the sign for Appalachian Bible College, and Mom was like, I remember really liking that college when I was researching them for Eiley. And so she's like, we should go check it out. So we just drove in there and started looking for someone to talk to, and one of their coordinators came out and gave us a tour of the whole place, and they were all super friendly to us, and it was really awesome. So, but I'm just seeing what God has for me. But they were super friendly, and it was just kind of felt like a God thing too, just with how all of a sudden it was, and the timing of it is pretty good in accordance with my life. So
God's timing is always perfect.
I sent in a application last night, so
Wow.
we'll see what happens. Yeah. So it might be a thing, it might not. I'm just seeing what could
Testing
happen.
the waters.
Yep. All right. Well, we will get into questions.
Oh boy.
What's your favorite fishing story?
Well, that's a hard one to go on.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. I get on every single guest because nobody does it.
Do you want a recent one? One from the past?
And just your favorite.
Oh, man.
Not hooking the dog. That's your least favorite fishing story.
I wasn't able to fish for like an entire year after that. Well, I would have to say probably fishing out there on the Big Creek. Just the experience out there, camping, bonfires, just the overall randomness of what we would catch. I would say one of my fondest memories, though, is, of course, out there camping with you, walking the trail and everything. And it was one of those nights the moon wasn't really out. Of course, we had a big spotlight, but we kept hearing like some slapping noise in the water.
Right, and then we looked over and there was that huge splash. You remember
Yeah.
that? We were like freaked out. What is that huge splash? That's what you're talking about, right?
It kept slapping and stuff, and of course I kind of dismissed it as, well, could be a beaver or just some big fish flopping. And of course that kind of got our adrenaline rushing.
Man, I'm going to put this on mute. Okay.
And of course, since our adrenaline was already high, we were kind of joking around like, oh, maybe it was some mountain lion jumping in the water trying to get to us.
Bigfoot.
Or the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
And then I remember all of a sudden the bush next to us just starts shaking. Oh,
Like
it was
so loud.
Yep.
Yes.
And both of us just started like yelling and running
And screaming like little girls. And Danny, like the person he was, grabbed me and put me in front of him.
I don't even remember that. I thought I pushed you or something. I was like, get out the way.
I mean, I think you kind of did it ironically because like we both were freaked out because we were panicked.
Yeah. I don't know if
but we both kind of knew back there what could possibly
what could
be
it be?
coming at us, right?
There's no bears or
Right.
anything like that.
So I think you just did it because like we were both freaked out, but you also kind of knew, so you were just like, haha.
I don't know if I could go back and see what I was thinking. I don't know if it was like just keep you close to me, or if it was to use you as a human shield. I don't know. All I knew is I had to run faster than you.
Yep.
But then, of course, we shine the spotlight in the area. It just happened to be a little bunny rabbit.
Yep, a little rabbit. And it was so funny too because he ran out into the clearing, and then
Just
we were
stop.
like, "Wah!" And then he was just there sitting in his
Like, why are you guys yelling?
yeah.
And then just hopped away.
That was pretty sad. I would like to think of like one of my favorite fishing stories of us successfully catching a fish, because almost every fishing story I've told so far on the podcast are just like weird things like that where it's like
Turns
we
into,
are
like,
fishing.
Scarefest or some horror film.
we are fishing, but nothing ever happens with fish. So
Yeah.
one of my favorites is when we were bow fishing that one time, and that gar was choking on another fish. You remember that? That massive gar was
What
choking.
Was it a catfish that had in its mouth, or was
No.
it another gar?
It was a buffalo carp,
Oh,
and the buffalo
yes.
carp was like this big, and it just had it lodged in its throat, and so it was up at the top, getting air,
Yeah.
and so it was like all the way on the other side of the creek though, so we kept we're like shooting up, trying to get it, and we kept. And we
missing,
finally
kept
got
missing.
it and reeled it in. That's that picture of me laying next to that one that we have. It was 4'7", I believe.
It was big.
Yeah.
It was almost as long as you.
Yeah, at the
I'd
time.
have to say catching that 47-pound blue catfish, or was that a flathead?
Blue cat. I don't think we got quite that big
It was
in
pretty
Big Creek.
big.
We got
was
like
it, like,
35. 35
35?
is the biggest we got at a Big Creek, I believe.
But I know that one was fun too. 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember it actually getting tangled around a log, and we had the John boat and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was wrapped around the log, I actually had to jump in there and see if I could untangle it.
Right, so I actually told part of this story
Oh, no.
last podcast
Oh.
because, do you remember this? So you stripped down to do this for
Yes.
no apparent reason, and Amy just waltzes out there for no reason.
And I go under the water because I'm
Yeah,
like,
and I was trying everything I could to distract her and get her to do something with me, and she would not. I mean, I tried so many different things. Like, hey, why don't we go over here to do this? And she just like, yeah. Hey, Michael. Why don't...
Yeah.
And it was just, oh, it was hilarious.
My initial thought, though, going down there, because you can't see anything, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to follow the line with my foot and I'll hit the bottom, something like that. No. I don't know if there was a hole there or what, but it just kept going down and down. I mean,
Wow.
I must have been at least 10 feet deep right there. And I was like, well, I don't know what's down here. I'm coming back up. And then, remember, we used the trolling motor to actually pull the line free?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
brought-
we went like around. We tried to go, and we got it. We
Yeah.
got that thing, yeah.
And then it broke the hook. Remember that? We didn't actually get it into the boat.
Oh, really?
Yep, it flopped up. Michael was there, too.
Yeah.
Michael was so mad. He's like, man, it was right there.
Yep. Yeah, that was wild.
Or no, I had a swivel, and it broke the swivel. not the
Right,
hook.
that makes more sense. Yeah, because at that time we were using those big circle hooks,
And I've
right?
still got him.
Yeah. Cool. All right, question number 2.
As he breaks his phone.
2 out of 45.
Are you serious?
I don't know. We probably got like 30. So I'm gonna definitely pick and choose here. I don't usually have to pick and choose, but this
That's
time I
crazy.
definitely do. Oh, what is it like to have big thighs?
I
We
know
both are guilty of
exactly-
this.
I know exactly who asked that question. Well, let's just say it's a very painful endeavor when you try and bowl, and every time you swing the ball, it bounces off your thigh straight to the gutter.
And then it's just like biting your cheek. It swells, and
Yeah.
then it gets bigger and
Yep,
bigger, and
yep.
you hit your thigh over.
And then you
Yep.
start limping, and people are like, what happened to him? I thought he just went bowling. He did.
Do you miss your jet skis?
Oh, I do. They were a pain in my side every once in
They
a while.
were, dude.
But a lot of it was human error. Getting stranded on the island with with Jesse and Michael. Oh, I remember that. That was fun, but that was my own fault. I forgot to put the drain plug back in,
Right.
even though I had a spare drain plug with us. But Michael panicked and tried to start it while it was underwater.
Oh.
Yep. If he hadn't have done that, we would have been fine. But not really, because I forgot we even had a spare plug. But if I were able to pick up more jet skis and know that I was going to use them again, I would.
Cool.
They're just
Cool.
versatile.
Yeah, I remember very vividly our Christmas Day excursions and
That was fun.
our tubing. Yeah, that was fun.
Getting stranded out there because the tubing line got sucked into the prop.
Mm.
That's me and you. Oh, we got lucky. Somebody was within earshot.
Yep. Okay, I'm a siphon through here. That's a pretty obvious question. Okay. Who asked these? Okay. Would you help me bury a body?
You want the legal answer?
Nah.
Yeah, well, sure, of course. I mean, I got a
You
shovel.
better.
I got a shovel right over there.
All right. Well, no. Pulls out a small squirrel. Here you go.
Oh, that kind of body.
That's the on-camera version. Anyway.
The rated PG.
Yeah. Dead squirrels. PG humor. Yay. Okay. I keep like exiting the questions. Ooh.
Worrying me there.
How did it feel to be outfished by your father-in-law in Tennessee?
Oh. that was frustrating. But it was one of those moments, like, because I have outfished him before multiple times, but because I was in a unfamiliar territory, I've never done freshwater stream fishing.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Besides a river, which is dirty water, I've never had, like, I can see the fish with moving water.
Mm-hmm.
So actually being able to cast and try and get the bait to land right in front of the fish, very tricky.
Right. Yeah, you
But-
have to go like way upstream and let it. Yeah.
And in this case, it is a lot of technique. It's not luck.
Right. Oh
'Cause
yeah.
I was using the same bait he was, same tackle, same line, everything. But just the way he happened to be reeling it in made the difference.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think he stopped counting after like 20. And I didn't catch a single fish.
Oh man.
Yes, I did not catch
That's
a
rough.
single fish. But he
I-
earned that one.
I outfished my grandpa trout fishing almost every time we've gone. And he's like been trout fishing his whole life, and those were my first times going. But I picked it up really quick. I felt like I love trout fishing.
Oh, I remember he's actually the one who helped me catch my first fish.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
My grandfather Brown. I should have him on the podcast.
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
Mm.
But that was up there in, I think it was Twainhart. That's where they lived, right? So it was somewhere in that area when we went to visit them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the exact
Yeah.
location.
For sure. Sonora. I
Mhm.
get Twainhart, Sonora. Okay. What's your opinion on bacon?
Oh, rub some bacon on it.
I haven't thought about that in a hefty couple years. Hefty 4 years or something.
5. I've been in for 5 years now.
Jeez.
Time has flown.
Like a plane. Ooh, okay. This could be an interesting question, but your stance on stance on religion in general, which is an interesting question. I'm going to answer kind of this first.
Definitely.
So, obviously, we're both Christians, which most people think of that as religious people. But, like, it's not a religion that gets us saved. But my stance on religion, because, like, I hear a lot of Christians say, like, well, that's religion. That's religion. You can't be like that. That's religion. And I'm just like, well, being religious about the things of God is not bad.
No.
Like, that's a good thing. Like, to be religious. Basically, what I mean by religious is
Righteousness or
no.
well, being righteous
Self-
in what you do.
Right.
Being
Self-discipline is what I
Right.
mean. That's a great thing. But the religion isn't what gets you saved.
No.
Being religious doesn't get you saved, but it's still a very good thing. Because you love God, you should be, serve Him. That's my stance on religion.
Oh, man. I know the Army, it's... Religion overall in the military, I think, is something that is really waning right now. I think the military needs to kind of come back towards more of a faith-based grounding. But it is one of those things where you can be faithful in what you do. But as long as you believe and you repent for your actions and know that Jesus died on the cross for you, I mean, you're kind of set in stone right there.
Right? Yeah, because you can be religious as you want, but if you don't have Jesus, you're not getting anywhere either. So
I mean,
you might have some success in this life, but
good deeds alone aren't going to get you anywhere.
Yep. They have a form of godliness, but deny the power thereof.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Or they deny the blood of Jesus too.
Well, yeah. That's what. That's most people, I guess. Right. I see what you're saying. You can go the other way too. Yeah.
Or another thing that I've noticed is a lot of people think it's a kind of a give and take relationship with God, which that's not the case. Yes, you have to. You don't earn your religion. It's not like that. Like
Your
I've
salvation, you mean?
correct.
Yeah.
Like I know some people, they're like, well, I've done this, and this, but God's never
Right.
done anything for me.
Right.
And that a lot of the times causes them to veer away from it.
Right. Well, I was debating a Redditor a long time ago. I used to do that a lot, like just get on Reddit and just debate people, just because I wanted to learn what people thought, because I wasn't very exposed to non-believers and
Gotta
stuff
stir the pot.
the majority of my life. Yeah, and I just wanted to learn. And one of these people, since it's Reddit, I don't know their gender, but they were like, I just can't see how you could accept a murderer to go to heaven. How can you see a school shooter as going to heaven or whatever? And I'm just like, well, why do you think you can be the judge of that? What have you done? If we're to judge you by the 10 Commandments right now, have you ever lied? Have you ever, committed adultery? Have you ever committed murder in your heart? Have you, and, real quickly we all seem to even out.
Well, it's what's that one verse? Remove the log from your eye before going for the speck in your neighbor's.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't consider murder a speck, but I mean, if you are murdering people, you've gone pretty far. But they've come back. I mean, a lot of people have gotten saved and served God after murdering people. It's happened a lot. So, yeah, yep. Yeah, we'll skip that one. Tacos or burritos?
Ooh. I would have to go with burritos, mainly because they're a little bit less messy.
I agree.
Yep. Now,
Definitely.
soft tacos are hard tacos.
Right.
Because I love the crunch of a hard taco, but as soon as you take that first bite, the taco's done.
So here's what we need: is crunchy burritos.
Yeah.
I mean, which they have them at Taco Bell and stuff, and that's my favorite. Like they got a crunchy shell wrapped in a burrito, and then you don't have the mess, and you still have the crunch.
Make the burrito and deep fry the whole thing.
Deep fried butter. Come and get it.
That is a thing,
I know.
Deep fried ice cream.
What?
How do they do that? Deep fried ice cream.
I don't like this question.
Uh-oh. I feel like that's another setup.
Yeah, I'm not gonna answer that one. How many kids do you want?
That's out of my hands, honestly. It's one of those things. Whatever God wants to give us, it's however many we're gonna have.
I completely agree.
Yep.
I'm very liberal in my not like left leaning. I mean like liberal in my thinking about how many kids I would have. I kind of want to leave it up to God, and obviously my wife will have something to say with it.
Of course. And,
And
she's the same way. I mean, however many we have or we're blessed with, that's
Awesome.
however many we're gonna have.
Yep, I think God has a lot to do with when and how you get pregnant. Not how, but how, but
How you get pregnant?
I mean, I'm saying like when
Right.
it happens, because like contraception does not always work, and it also, if you don't use contraception, it doesn't always make you baby either. So
Exactly.
at all. So, it's kind of at the end of the day, it's really just up to God.
Right.
So
His timing is perfect, and honestly, everything He's done for us in the past is just fallen in piece like a puzzle.
Yep, for sure. It's another weird one. I don't know who was asking questions today.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd be definitely surprised.
Okay, this was the one I was like, this is pretty straightforward, but what does for better or worse mean to you?
For better or for worse? That's